Hey nerds! Hope you're all having a cool day. I don't know where I was going with that. It was gonna be fun and interesting, but then, you know, I ruined it. I'm so bad. I'm so stupid at everything I did. But no, so a lot of you were sharing your worst IVs that you actually got in this game over a lot of characters that you ended up getting. So I figured I would share some of my stories that I got when it came to IVs and some of the worst characters and what I like to call the Great Archer Drought of 2017. I was about to say 2016, but then I remembered that we're still in this holy year of 2017, where my whole team just anyways. So let's talk about the worst IVs I've ever gotten, and some of the worst luck I've ever gotten when it comes to characters outside of, well, my summoning. So, let's talk about my Olwen. So, you know, a while ago I was joking about getting a better Olwen. Still haven't leveled her up yet, but I'm getting there. And, I got Olwen when she was released. It was like my last desperate attempt to actually get a character with that summoning session, because back then I didn't really put any money into it, too much money into it. I kind of just, you know, I used like maybe 20 bucks, 30 bucks, I forget what, and you know, I was like, oh boy, new banner, I'm gonna try for any of these characters. And I forget if Lachesis was a part of it. I don't remember if she was. She may have been with that one. Been a while. I think I may have gotten her, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Boy, howdy, was I wrong about that. But still, I ended up with an Olwen. That's not this Olwen. That Olwen had an attack Bane on her. Now, usually that's fine and dandy, but for Olwen, she's the Dire Thunder, you know, sibling. You need Dire Thunder, and you need attack with Dire Thunder. And I did not realize that at this time that really mattered a lot. That's kind of why Reinhardt really boosted to the top when, you know, Skill Inheritance came out and everyone could mess and make him strong as, you know, strong like hell and all that fun stuff. So naturally, when I was given that option, I was like, oh, okay. So I was not too happy. As you can see, she does have Blare Blade. That's because, you know, in a desperate attempt to make my Olwen something at least resemble something useful, I wanted to go with Blare Blade. Blare Blade? Blue Blade. Blah Blade. And that was a bad idea. She still couldn't do much damage, at least not when in comparison to Ursula there. And there was just so many issues with that, and I had so many problems. It was not fun. It was not one of the more hilarious experiences I had out of it, and it was definitely not something I would enjoy. Good lord, I tried my hardest to make her work, but that was probably the worst situation. So, let's talk about the next thing that I want to talk about. So, I don't know if you guys remember, but for the longest time, I did not have an archer. Just did not have one. Bridelia eventually showed up, and I managed to get a really good Bridelia. I guess that was just because for, I'd say 2 to 3 months, every time I summoned and actually got an archer, it would be like an archer I actually wanted. I'm not counting Virion. I don't want to level up Virion. I just don't want to, okay? Understand this. Virion is... God, oh my god, there's so many... Anyways, so, I tried leveling up this George. I tried leveling up a Klein. I, like, leveled up a Klein to, like, 12, and then I realized... I looked back at the video where I summoned him, and he had a speed boon. I mean, not a speed boon, a speed bane. And I'm like, ah, crap, can't do that. I want him to be fast. He needs to at least have a bit of that. And then I went back, tried a different Clyde. Attack Bane. And I'm just like, no! No! So after that, I went and rolled, and I eventually ended up with George, and I'm like, oh, cool, George, that's a new one, right? Let's try him out. What does he have? Speed Bane. At that point, I just ended up crying to myself. Granted, I don't think Speedbane actually... You know what? I'm going to look up George's stats because I don't remember much. Let me just take a look-see. But still, after that, I was like, oh man, maybe I should try, you know, Setsuna. And Setsuna... Yeah, that was a bad thing. Most of these... I'm pretty sure one has a speed boon, particularly, but... Or may have... They may all have speed banes. No, I'm pretty sure... Yeah, that one has The one that has an attack. Oh god, that's so bad, and it makes me sad as well. You kind of notice the differences there. That one at least has, from what I can tell, a speed boon. At least I think. And there were several other Setsunas that I had that were all just the same situation. The same thing completely. And, it was a nightmare, to say the least. A actual freaking nightmare. And I still did not end up with an actual competent archer until eventually I got Brydelia here, who actually has an attack boon, which is cool, and definitely served her purpose more than I can ever count. Now I need to actually get her a Brave Bow Plus, so her build will be complete, and then I'll be pretty happy. Because I still don't... That requires leveling up one of these mini archers that I have. I don't even know if I have any of those, but still. Outside of that, well, I've had some terrible luck with a lot of other characters. Granted, I've also had a lot of better luck with some. So let me just pull up... Where are you? So, we've gone over Amelia before, but what you didn't see off screen is that occasionally I would work my way up and get like 5 or 10 orbs from things, be it, you know, monthly quests or, you know, Tempest Trials, something like that. I saved a few orbs here and there. And the first one I rolled, Attack Bane, Attack Boon, Speed Bane. Not gonna work, I wanted her with speed. And it's just, especially when speed is something like that, you don't want... With something like Amelia, who has all this speed, you really do want to at least have a speed boon. That's just what I think. So, it kind of hurt there. And then, the second one I rolled, Attack Bane, and, like, Resistance boon. I'm just like, no, god damn it. Third one I rolled. I'm pretty sure that was the one that I'm actually on here. Nope, that was not. Pretty sure that was also a Speed Bane. Yay! And then from there, finally, I got one that just has, like, negative health plus defense, and I'm just like, okay, that didn't touch any of the vital stats, I'll just take it. It's better than nothing. This one, also, I'm pretty sure, this... God, I'm dying. Excuse me for that. I'm pretty sure my good friend here, Hector, actually has not-so-great IVs. He has Speed Boon, which, and then finally, pretty sure he has an HP Bane, which for Hector is not the best thing, but at that point I was just like, screw it, at least I got it, because I had been looking for Hector for ages. I'm sure a lot of people may remember way back in the day when I was going for him. Speaking of, pretty sure I still have the Ike that I'm looking for. Yeah, that's the one I was leveling up before. This is the Ike that I was taking up to, 40 before I moved on to the other one that's right next to it. And this was the Ike that a fan got me, and I was so happy because for that banner, Ike had been avoiding me, like evasion central for me. He just kept never showing up. I would get Kane at 5 stars. I would just it was a lengthy process to get it. Like, I don't know what it was like, but all of the I don't know why, but all the lords up to that point, like Alum before then, never showed up for me. Ike almost didn't show up for me. A fan donated some cash to let me try for Ike, and they managed to nab this Ike for me, so I'm always keeping them. I'm never gonna let that go. Probably, I don't know if I want to merge it unless it's up to them, because it was really cool to get this, so I'm probably gonna level this Ike up as well, and keep them because it mattered so much to me. And, but the worst possible situation came out of that. You know, they put up that effort to help me get Ike, and he had an Attack Bane. Granted, at least it didn't affect his other stats too much, but it kind of sucked a little bit to have, you know, that happen. He's a little bit beefier, not the strongest Ike out there, but hey, why not, right? Hey, it's how it goes, I guess. But I mean, I will always keep this Ike, because not only is it a reminder of that IV, but also because, you know, a fan gave it to me, which means a lot more to me. And technically, there's a lot of other options I'm sure I could probably dig up here with IVs, but a lot of them I probably won't end up using. I did get some luck with a lot of IVs and some other options. One of my mains is attack, I think actually speed, and then also Bane and resistance. I know my Celica has a decent enough spread in some ways. I forget what hers, but I think hers was actually attack boon and a bane in either defense or resistance, which, doesn't really matter for her when I'm trying to get her to, you know, do what she needs to do. So share your worst IV stories with me, guys. I want to see what you got. What was your worst possible luck? Let's share our little misadventures and see what hides behind the curtain of misfortune, I guess we can say. And that great archer drought is over, thank God, because I got you deep in the heart of things. People were so... Okay, I'm just gonna say real quick, I knew something was really wrong when I rolled Cordelia 3 times in the same night. I got her like 3 times from a summoning session that it was like, you know, that one summoning session that started that whole banner. And people were saying terrible, terrible things in the comments about me. I remember that. That's how I knew that Cordelia was going to be good. And I never regret it. Anyways, catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.